Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included. In today's episode I want to do something I should have done a long time ago and I'm actually lucky I can still do it. Look at this. This is my last measly piece of SLEET wheat grain. It is going bad as we speak, and of course if you have paid attention we have dug up everything, so there is no more SLEET wheat to gain. I would have to wait for the printing pod to actually give me some. So in wise preparation to be able to cook better stuff, I thought we should go ahead and plant this bad boy right away. I think as soon as we planted it, we should be able to build the farm around it without it going bad. Now in the last episode we discovered this cool slush geyser, which is outputting 1.69 kilograms per second of polluted water at minus 10 degrees. The SLEET wheat itself has a temperature range of minus 55 to 5 degrees. It requires a little bit of air pressure, which basically can be anything. No, it needs to be oxygen, polluted oxygen or carbon dioxide, and it also requires 5 kilograms of dirt and 20 kilograms of water per cycle. Since I discovered I only have one piece of SLEET wheat left, I thought it is wise to plant it and then think about the project. So instead of actually pumping everything up, what we could do is lead the water through a water sieve, maybe in the very same room as the geyser itself, and then we are going to bring it back into the SLEET wheat farm, and all the excess water we might still be able to transport up. Considering a cycle is 6 minutes, or is that 300 wait, let me think. No, not 300, but it needs to be 360 seconds. So 5 minutes would be 300 seconds. Yeah, 360 seconds times 1.69 kilograms per second divided by 20, and we should get the amount of SLEET wheat we can sustain with this cool slush geyser. 360 times 1.69 divided by 20, so we can sustain about 30 of these plants, or 30.42, but we're gonna go with 30 just to be sure. So yeah, this is probably gonna be our primary backup resource. I'm not even sure if we want 30. I mean, this is a lot of plants. This is way more than I actually want. So technically we could get about 30 plants in here. Maybe we're gonna start with 20 first and then we see how we're doing. I'm actually gonna go with about 27 of these plants. I think that is a good number. We're gonna also set up the flooring for this room, and then I want a convenient way to get in there, namely the transit tube. I'll probably have the transit tube access on the outside here, so the room is untouched. That should be good. We are gonna remove these ladders and set up a farm station in order to make this a farm room. At the moment we still have 19 cycles to finish this, so we should be doing good. I think I'm just gonna expand this room by 4 tiles or so we can set up a water sieve. Let's open this up. We're also gonna mop and clean everything up, of course. Everyone standing around again. Of course, that is partly due to us having tons and tons of oxygen everywhere again. Oh man, this is so agonizing. I just can't get rid of the freaking gases. Another thing we could already set up is pipes. I'm actually gonna make them out of normal liquid pipes out of granite, so they already transfer the heat as we feed the plants with water. Well, in this case, it's not really gonna be the heat, but the chill of the cool slush geyser. I probably also want a farm station to make this work, that we can place here out of iron. Should be good. Alright then, a refinement water sieve, and it's gonna go right here. I actually want to swap the inputs, and instead of going up to my storage system, we are actually gonna purify the water right here. It's then gonna be coming out of this side down and over to my previous system, but of course we want to keep the granite pipes. We are also gonna need some power, 800, well, actually we can just use the power we already have here. That is very convenient. We're then gonna close this off, have a little bit of carbon dioxide in here, which theoretically shouldn't heat up too much, but we'll have to see. Maybe I have to build the water sieve out of a better material, but I highly doubt it. The farm station is in place. I guess we can now copy this over, even though I don't have any more SLEET wheat. And I'm so glad I wasn't able to cook the last one. It was actually falling out of my cooking oven because I only had 1 in there instead of the 3 that you actually required to make a frost bun. Really glad I didn't have to wait for the printing pod in this case, because we are running low on calories. However, I believe the carbon dioxide situation is much better. As you can see right now, it is going up a little bit. And we have almost all the fungal spores covered again. Once I really figure out what I want to do with my farms, I might move this entire setup. Right now, this is really an emergency situation that we needed to address. Okay, actually looking good. Now we have to wait for 17 cycles in order for this to kick in. Oh, there's actually one thing I forgot. We also need a water reservoir. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna make this a little bit longer. So we have the space for a water reservoir and build it right there. This also means we first want to get into the input of the water reservoir, which I believe is here, and then the output would be at the bottom. Actually, let's figure that out right away. There we go. That's exactly the case. Come on, guys. Take apart this ladder. Do me the favor. Beautiful. This should hopefully suffice as a buffer for the dormant phases of the cool slush geyser, and then we can feed all of these plants. And eventually we should also be able to pump the rest of the cool liquid into my wastewater system to help out with the cooling there. Okay, I think we can leave this be for the time being. Let's actually get back up. I want to launch a couple more rockets. I believe we should have replenished a few things. Actually, let's make sure this is being dug up here. And actually, let's see. We want to send another explorer. Yeah, let's maybe find out what other asteroids we can explore. Looks like this is the last one we've done, and now we want to go for the metallic asteroid. So that could be interesting in terms of materials that we get, and it's still at the same 120,000 kilometers mark that we aimed at previously. This means my settings should still be the same, 1,623 kilograms. We already have accumulated a lot of hydrogen since I waited for a little bit in order to do that, and now we can get things started. Let me check out my pumping system. We probably want to cut this off so all of the liquid oxygen is getting over. And then the same thing with my Hydrogen 1 rocket. This one here I used for cargo, and I'm actually not 100% sure how far I put this. Let me actually check. Hydrogen 1, you visited this gas giant for isoresin and niobium. That is not the worst of ideas. I don't think we have... oh, actually we have trace amounts of fullerene here as well. So maybe I should go for that one. I'm not so sure. It's not really worth it just for trace amounts. I think I'm gonna visit the same asteroid I did before for the niobium and isoresin. So 90,000 kilometers, that should be it. It might also be the next one at 100,000 kilometers. We'll see. We're just gonna fill this up first of all. That means I want to release some hydrogen, and I also want to release the liquid oxygen, right? Yes, beautiful, beautiful. First rocket is fueled up. Now before everything goes wrong, I'm actually gonna reconnect this so we can fuel up the second rocket as well. This should bypass now. It's gonna fill up the second rocket, and we're gonna do the same thing right here. All I have to do is cut this connection. Great. I should really automate this soon. But you know, I've never really been bothered by it up to this point. Wonderful. Both rockets have been filled up. So let's go ahead and assign these. Bubbles, you're gonna take one, and Max, you're gonna take the other. Looks like Max is the first guy to exit. So let's open up his gate right there. Finally, we can do another explorer mission. I haven't done that in such a long time. Hydrogen 2 it is going to be, and we want to explore this asteroid. Launch mission. Good luck, Max. Have fun. 3, 2, 1, blast off. Oh, looks like I haven't replaced all of the wires with steel. That is a little bit of a problem. So let's go ahead and fix that. This probably means I haven't replaced the other silo here either. So we're gonna make sure this happens as soon as possible. Liquid shutoff overheated. Are you freaking kidding me? How is this even a thing? It's still heating up. Look at this. It's now 190, 200 degrees. How is this? What is happening? What am I missing? How is this getting hot? What? Oh, sometimes this game is just mind-boggling. Hold on. Do we have an astronaut here? No astronaut. Bubbles, what are you doing? Come! Nathan, just stay calm. Everything is gonna be fine. We're gonna redo the gantry, reassign Bubbles, and she's gonna come in no time. Right, it's time to dump some water on top of this so we can at least cool down the petroleum, which is now at 186 degrees. I just don't get it. But we have Bubbles in place. We are gonna open up the bunker doors and see where we can send her to. Hydrogen 1, where can you go? You can go all the way to here, which is perfect. So let's do it. Launch mission. Bunker doors are open. Let's do this. I want to observe the heat a little bit and see what the heck is actually going on. Oh, frame rates, frame rates. Yeah, I really don't get it. Let's just forget about it. Maybe you guys let me know, and I at least will be able to die in peace. However, this should have kickstarted our petroleum production again. That's what I'm talking about. Now, everyone is confined actually in my base, or not, maybe? Where are you confined? Yeah, they're confined in my base, so the mod is spazzing out again, unfortunately. Actually, with all these new materials at our disposal, I think I could make some more insulation. Actually, tons more. This is good. The only thing I need to be careful about is the reed fiber. But we have planned that in the background. I basically just need to activate it. I was too lazy up to this point. We're gonna go ahead and do another 20 crafts of insulation, and thus maybe I will be able to make the piping system a little more permanent and leave the liquid hydrogen and oxygen within the pipes so I don't have to worry about this cycle anymore. It is also time to do some more cleaning up here. I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I also want to clean up this room here. Let me see. Yeah, sure. Let's just do it. There are also a few more decorative items that I could choose, and we shall do that. Oh, I just saw a snazzy suit. Let's do an egg-shaped thing, and look at that! Mangled saxophone. We actually got that from another asteroid. That is direct proof of alien life. Do I have anything else? An old X-ray? We can certainly use that. While we're waiting for the sleet wheat farm to kick in, I actually want to do a major cleanup. So all of these items can now be transported to my storage system, and this is hopefully going to help us keep the lag even more in check. It has been improving vastly over the last few episodes, I have to mention that too. Oh yeah, this is actually gonna feel really good. I'm just gonna go ahead and do everything here. Jeez, look at all these materials we have hanging around. It's actually kind of insane. No wonder the game has troubles keeping up. Okay, we brought the temperature back to a reasonable amount, so I'm gonna disable this bottle emptier again. With all these sweeping and mopping commands in mind, I think I'm just gonna observe the game, wait for the opportune moment, which is gonna be in 13.1 cycles, and then we shall see if our food situation is gonna be improving with the new farm. Alrighty guys, we are back. It is a whole bunch of cycles later. We are almost getting started with the cool slush geyser, but you know, observing everything, I decided we are not going to sweep up all of the items using duplicants, except, you know, maybe the ones that are already nearby the storage. But items like this, for instance, I would say we're gonna actually sweep up using the auto sweeper. It's definitely gonna be worth it. I mean, auto sweepers, we only have to set up a couple of them and then they are going to work and the duplicants can do something else. So also everything on the top here, but that is something that is important. We have to do that soon, since with every item we can stack up, we gain a little bit of frames back. But the star of the show today should be this cool slush geyser. If we check this out, 0.4 cycles, so it should kick in very soon. And then I'm gonna be curious as to how we are gonna cool this room down. If this is already gonna be enough, the granite pipes, or if we have to actively cool this room. Now I just noticed we have a whole bunch of sour gas in here. This is not necessarily what I wanted. I mean, we had the carbon dioxide. Not so sure about it. I might want to improve the climate situation in this room eventually. Guys, stop picking stuff up. I'm gonna set up auto sweepers. Don't worry, I have everything under control. Hold on, I think I made a mistake. The water sieves can obviously be flooded. Oh no, don't tell me I have to put everything one block over. Ah, this is just horrible. Yeah, I think I have to put everything one block over so I can set up a block here and block the water. But you know, that is fine. We can do it. If we put some priority on it, we should be able to do it without issues. So there we go, and do that with a high priority, like so. Come on guys, you can do this. I believe in you. Okay, nice. That's what I'm talking about. Refinement, we're going back into the water sieve territory, and you should now be here. The liquid reservoir should be there, and now we should have the space for a tile. Perfect. Want to make sure this has high priority as well. Oh, okay. The slush geyser is starting. Oh no! Place this insulated tile. Guys, don't go away! Lola the cook brought the materials, but she didn't finish the job. Because she likes me to suffer. Good enough. Now we can mop this up. Actually, high priority, please. And what else do we have to do? Like, we need this power cable still. Okay. But there we go. We have the polluted water now cooling down this entire room. Yeah, we can see this is gonna take a little while in order to cool this down. There we go. The pump is pumping our first water at minus 1.1 degrees. This is great. And it's coming out at 0.1 degrees. So Hopefully eventually we can get this down even more. It's now going through here. Let's see if that has an effect on the temperature. Yeah, look at that. This is already getting greener and greener. And slowly but surely it's getting blue, hopefully. Another load incoming. At the moment, the body temperature is 25 or so degrees. Right now, it's just filling up all the hydroponic farms, I believe. I'm not sure if they are actually exchanging too much chill once the water is in there, but they should be exchanging the chill as long as the water is flowing, right? And here we are actually already done. Let's see what that did. We are at 22 degrees, approximately. So yeah, that's definitely going to take a while until we have it at the +5 degrees necessary for it to grow. But observing the hydroponic farm, it actually goes down in temperature, so the water does help somewhat. Alright, if I check out the water at the moment, it's already above the 5 degrees and the gases are coming down. I think what I want to do to make this better is add a little addition here with transit tubes, and then we are gonna... hold on, do I have the space for that? 87 tiles plus 2 tiles, that's 89 tiles, and if I add this, we are already above the 96 tiles required. So instead what I'm gonna do is take away 2 hydroponic farms. We're gonna take away this, and then we're gonna make this just a tad longer. This can go away, this can go away. Get you out of the way, get you, and hold the phone. I need to be careful. Don't want to take everything apart. But the transit tube should go into this direction and then through here. But yeah, you can already see where this is going. I just want to set up another transit tube. I thought the only problem is going to be my power supply, but look at this. Potential load 960 watts, which means we should still be able to hook up the transit tube axis. Great. We have, insulated liquid pipe broken. Oh, wait a second. That actually... That makes sense. If we are below the 0 degrees mark, of course, the water shall be frozen, right? Oh man, this might be a problem I haven't considered. No, I definitely didn't consider it. What could we do against it? We could tap into another water source. Like, for instance, we could take this 90 degrees hot water source in order to make sure the water in this liquid reservoir is approximately 0 degrees. You know what? This might actually be worth reloading, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reload and rebuild this in a way so that we can actually adjust the temperature of the water to exactly 0 degrees. It's not gonna require a lot of the hot packets, but it's definitely a necessity as we've just seen. Okay, I thought about this for a little bit and I got a new plan. The first thing I want to do is make sure that we have the carbon dioxide that we are accumulating and we are bringing it down here. At the moment, this is probably going to be... No, it's actually going to be at 20 degrees, so that's good. I'm bringing it in here with a high gas pressure vent in the hopes that all the other gases are going to be pushed towards the right side. I attempted to do this with oxygen, but I wasn't really successful with that. So hopefully the other plan is gonna work. And I also made another decision here. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're actually gonna pump things out and then we're gonna use it in order to cool the air that is in here. Also made a new decision for my piping system. The polluted water is going to be pumped out at -10 degrees and it's going to first be used in order to cool down this room. Then we're going to go ahead, loop things back, and we're going to meet in this liquid reservoir. So I want to bring this all the way over to the liquid reservoir. Once we get out of the liquid reservoir, I want to check the temperature with a thermosensor. It's going to go right there. From the thermosensor, it's going to go into a liquid shutoff, like so. If we are at 0 degrees or above, I want to go out and I want to actually go into the water sieve. If we are not at that temperature, I want to loop back into the liquid reservoir. However, if we just loop it back into the reservoir, the temperature is not going to improve, right? So I decided to add another line of polluted water that's coming all the way from up here. We have accumulated a whole bunch of it. I'm going to bring it down using granite pipes. If we check the temperatures everywhere, so this is going to heat up the water inside of the granite pipes. It's going to come down all the way to here, and then we can actually use it in order to heat up the liquid in the liquid reservoir. Now this probably means I simply want to dump my excess liquid that is not at the right temperature back into this room. It's not going to be very power friendly, but who cares about that at this point? Gonna bring this over. So this is the liquid that is too cold still. That's gonna go back into the polluted water room. And just to be sure, I think I'm actually gonna make this a little bit higher since we accumulated already a little bit of it. This also means we can get rid of this wall again, and I'm gonna need 4 spaces for the water sieve as well. Input of the water sieve should be here, and then the output right here. We're gonna go down and actually join with our loop that goes and feeds the plants. Now, if we do it this way, we don't even have to continue this because all I would do is connect up these 2 pipes here. Let me actually think about that. Like, the first thing we want to do is feed into the reservoir, so if we put a bridge there, this line is going to be prioritized. If that fails, because we already have too much liquid in the pipes, we are actually going to bring it up like the old plan I had in order to help cool down our wastewater system. Now, if the sensor detects the water is too cold, I want to make sure that we are bringing in some hot water into the reservoir until it is hot enough, namely 0 degrees. And I believe we should be able to do that with a liquid shutoff as well. So liquid shutoff goes right here, input, and then the output is gonna join this pipe. So it just goes down. However, we are gonna make sure that as long as the liquid is hot enough, no more extra hot water is gonna come in. So I gotta get rid of these 2 ladders as well and set up a liquid shutoff. Unpause the game, guys, do some work, please. There we go. Liquid shutoff goes right here. Let's do some automation. This can be made out of lead. Yeah, let's use that up. So the first one it influences is obviously this liquid shutoff. Let's say we are gonna set this to send the green signal if the liquid is below a certain temperature. Ah, nice. We don't even need a NOT gate. All I have to do is hook this up here as well. And then both of the liquid shutoffs are gonna open. One of the shutoffs is gonna dump back the water into the pool and the other one is gonna fill it into the reservoir, right? Yeah, let's get a few things built so we can actually keep the overview. At the moment, it is rather complicated to understand with all the building commands. Hold on, I cannot count to 4 apparently. Water sieve goes here and then the output would be there. Sorry. Naturally, everything needs to be powered as well, but I do not worry about that. Yeah, we still have the necessary potential power that we can use. I'm also gonna move this door 1 block up, so I definitely have 2 spaces available for my liquid to just stay where it is. Very good. The carbon dioxide is being introduced right at this moment, which means we should be able to push this away. However, I think I'm gonna temporarily open up a couple more tiles. Let's actually do one here, another one there. This way we should be able to let some of these extra gases escape towards the top as soon as we have this filled up with enough carbon dioxide. This also means I should be able to close off this room. Should be better. There's actually one more thing I'm a little bit worried about. What if we have a dormant phase and we don't have enough water in here? Then the last signal this sensor actually detected, it's gonna emit, and there's a potential that we are just filling up the entire water reservoir with too hot liquid. That makes me actually wonder, what if instead of this complicated situation, we are just gonna dump polluted water into this pool and only pump it up if it is at the right temperature already? Guys, you see, this game always has so many possibilities to solve one single problem. You know what? Give me a second to think about that. I might rearrange a couple of things now again. Okay, I believe I now have a better solution in mind. What we're gonna do is actually make use of 2 pumps. One pump is only gonna be able to cycle the liquid and it's gonna go back in, and we're gonna use that in order to keep this room at approximately 0 degrees. So pumping up the liquid, going through the room, cooling it down, and then it's gonna go ahead and be looped back, going back into the room. The secondary pump right here is then going to be responsible to put stuff into the water sieve. So we're going to have that right there. It's going to pump up into the water sieve since we are only activating this pump once we have the correct temperature. So that means we're also going to need a temperature sensor, a thermosensor this called. And actually, oh yeah, I already planned this out. Of course, this pump needs to go 1 further away. So I actually have the space for the sensor. What I want to do is dump the liquid right back on top of the sensor, which is going to go here. So we are going to introduce a liquid vent. On the top right here, we're going to continue with our granite pipes, and this line is only going to be utilized if the water is too cold. So at this point, we definitely need a liquid shutoff. You go right here. We want to continue it and probably, let's see. We probably don't want to give this priority. No, actually, we don't want to give the cycling loop the priority. So that means we want to do something like that, get rid of this pipe and then do this with a liquid bridge. So we have the priority on the hot water and not the cold one. Then again, thermosensor is going to go right here and it's going to be responsible to activate the liquid shutoff. That means we can bridge over here, join that, give me an automation bridge made out of lead, put that right there. Good stuff. Wall has been expanded. Let's get that liquid pump. Gonna add it right here. And I'm not gonna connect it just yet. I also want to do the automation wire first. Now let's think about that. Water is too cold. We don't want to pump it up, but we want to activate the shutoff, which means at some point we're gonna need a NOT gate. And it looks as though right here is a perfect spot for a NOT gate. So I'm gonna add that right here because we only want to activate the pump if the shutoff is closed, which means the temperature is at a okay level. Right here I set up a thermosensor, but this is wrong. This should be a hydrosensor again. I wanted to do the system here first, but the hydrosensor is gonna make sure we always have a little bit of liquid in there before we actually start pumping, but that should naturally be always the case, except in the dormant phases. We can also already do the output, which should just go in here, and then it's gonna feed all my plants, and that is gonna be the end of the line. Looking at my gases, I think I'm actually happy with that result. So we are gonna wrap up this room, take it away, and I also want to make sure we are not pumping in any more carbon dioxide. So this can go. Is the carbon, yeah, it's actually retracting, so let's just get rid of all these pipes now. I don't need you anymore, thank you very much, and we also don't need the high gas pressure vent. The hydrosensor I'm actually going to set to above 500 kilograms. That seems to be an appropriate amount of liquid in order to make sure we have a nice heat exchange going on. Thermosensor is in place. We want to say if it is above 0 degrees, let's actually do minus 0.5. Can I do that? Minus 0.5? No, doesn't take it. But in this case, we would want to send a green signal. This is then opening up, sending in some hotter liquid. Then if the temperature is good, we are going to pump it up here instead, going through the water sieve. I think I like that. Oh wait, I put the sensor wrong. Of course it should be below 0 degrees because that means then we want to open up the hot liquid shutoff. Okay, beautiful. I think we have everything in place. The first thing I want to activate is the loop right here. So that's the only thing I'm going to activate because we are going to accumulate a lot of that heat we still have in here. The first thing we need to take care of is that this room is actually being cooled down to approximately 0 degrees. So that is now happily pumping away, should be good, and we should also see this dramatically decrease in temperature now. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So this is going back up and it's gonna be dumped right into here, great. And we should have a much higher temperature now, 14 degrees, which means the water right here is gonna heat up a little bit, and that is absolutely fine. Nice, this is looking really good. The polluted water doesn't actually heat up too quickly. I was a little bit worried about that. Look at this, the water is already coming in at minus 2.1 degrees, which means we are not really cooling this down anymore. So now we have to introduce the hot polluted water. Connecting these pipes and considering the liquid shutoff at the moment is turned on, this should be no problem whatsoever, and we should also have the priority. So now hot water is being dumped in, and as soon as we have reached the 0 degrees mark or a little bit above, wait, what just happened there? We got a little bit of water. That is really strange. Maybe I still had some packets left in there. Well, it's eventually going to be pumped up. It's going through the water sieve. It's not really a problem. I would have preferred this didn't happen. What you going to do? The thermosensor is now sending a red signal because we have reached the temperature, which is activating this pump. So we are going to connect this as well. And the pump should be activated with... gosh, it's still a little bit too cold actually. Of course, these two tiles aren't as cold as the thermosensor itself, since the liquid vent is pouring down on the sensor. So let's go ahead and do 1 degrees instead. And now we can only hope this didn't hurt us too much. Yeah, we seem to have gotten away with it a little bit. I really like this. Okay, this is now actually kind of working the way I want it to. Let's have a look at the temperature again. Looking very snazzy. And while you look at that, we now have a very nice temperature. As long as I'm below 1 degree or so, I'm actually pretty happy. Though the water here is coming out at 2 degrees at the moment. This actually makes me want to go back to 0 degrees at this point. Maybe we just had to wait initially a little bit for the distribution to happen. We could even improve on that a little bit by adding a diamond temp shift plate maybe right here. So all of that is going to transfer heat a lot quicker. But we can now see the sleet wheat right here is actually growing, so that only means we are going to have more and more once this gets rolling. Temp shift plate is in place. Let's clean things up a little bit. I'm so happy this is growing. It's gonna take a while though in order to fill all of these up though. The yield we get from one sleet wheat grain could be a lot. It's gonna take like 18 cycles for it to grow, but after that we should be able to plant most of the farm. Now there's one more security measure we could implement if we wanted to. For instance, have another liquid shut off at this point or this point so that we can send up the extra liquid that we have in case we are accumulating too much of it. I mean, sure, why not do that? We have a second liquid sensor right there, and then we are gonna bring this over to a liquid shutoff. Let me install that as well. We are gonna place that shutoff right there. We're gonna connect it to this pipe, and we are going down. Gonna add a bridge like so, and then a little bit of automation wire that goes from the sensor. Let's actually send it through the wall. There it is, almost already in place. What I want to detect is if we accumulate, let's say, over 100 kilograms of water in the upper tile, that means we have accumulated too much and we cannot really feed it to all of our plants. So therefore we want to open up this liquid shutoff and send it upwards. Oh guys, I'm actually so glad I figured this out. I think this is the best solution that I came up with today. Well, the other solutions all have problems I didn't want to deal with, but this way I think we have a fail-proof system for our sleet wheat. Though I guess time will tell. Yeah, wonderful. That seems to be working. This shutoff is gonna turn on as soon as we have accumulated too much water, because at the moment, of course, we cannot process it for all of the plants, and eventually we're also gonna have too much of the polluted water because we haven't made use of the 30 plants that we could feed with the cool slush geyser. Great stuff, guys. Thank you so much for watching. In the next episode, we will see this develop a little bit. It's already grown 8%, so definitely in the next episode, we will realize if this is fail-proof. But with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching. Have a great time and see you soon. Bye-bye.